As a reminder, let's wait for the microphones. Open up for questions for Sean. We're going to start here with Hannah on the right.
Hey, I noticed you and the other starters have been wearing eye black even when you're not playing. Not strictly necessary. So can you tell us a little bit about why the eye black?
Just another good luck charm, I guess. I don't know. It just started last week, I think, in Atlanta, and then last week's been crazy, so I've just been sticking with it.
Who started it?
Jesse Winker.
And you're changing it up now. You did the number yesterday.
That was Jesse as well. Yeah, I mean, it was just like a fun little thing.
Next question. You go here in the middle on the right.
Since the second half of the season, you guys the starting staff has put together an unbelievable string of quality starts. What was it that changed from the early part of the season where guys weren't going length?
All just kind of feeding off each other. I think we all have the same goal in mind, making it to the postseason, and just on like a selfish level too, just want to be great. And I think that just feeds off each other. Sevia does well, I want to do well, PD wants to do well, Key wants to do well, and it's just kind of like that team mentality where you just want to go out there and do it for the boys. And I think at the end of the day we're just feeding off each other and just having a fun time doing it.
And as a pitcher, when you see Kodai do what he did, no simulated games, but no minor league games, and comes right up in the thick of a playoff. As a pitcher, what do you think about that?
It's incredible. It's definitely not an easy thing to do. What he was able to do his last two starts were truly incredible. He's just got the confidence to go out there and throw his stuff for strikes, and he's got really good stuff. So, he should. So that was really fun to watch.
Okay, we're going to stay on the right, Mark.
You guys have been on the road for quite a while now. Just what kind of atmosphere are you expecting here tomorrow?
I expect it to be crazy. I was here in 22, and it was definitely wild for sure. So, this place can definitely be rocking. I mean, the last couple of games here we had were pretty amazing. So, I expect it to be pretty fun atmosphere.
Okay, down here we're going to go to Anthony, and then it's Dave.
You guys have gotten pretty heavy contributions from your left-handers all year. What, if any, sort of pride do you, Quintana, Peterson, taken, what you guys have been able to do?
It's just that team mentality. The starting staff, I think just wants to be really good. We were saying it from the beginning of the year. I think we all believed in each other. There's no reason why we couldn't go out there and be great. And having veteran guys like Q out there leading the charge, and just what he's been able to do this whole year has been truly special. So tried to follow in those steps, and it's been a fun ride.
Also, your voice is a little scratchy. Are you feeling okay? And how are guys just in general holding up from 2 weeks on the road, a lot of flights, a lot of short nights?
The last week has been unbelievable. Obviously, my voice is gone. I think it was because of Pete. So thank you, Pete. I think it's everybody's here. Everybody here has been doing their part through the ups and downs, and it's just been an amazing, special time to go through this stretch to end the season and start this postseason.
You want to go, Dave?
Sean, on the last weekend of the regular season here, a bunch of guys were like, oh, we kind of have a feeling that we'll be back here before the year is over. This isn't going to be the last time we're at Citi Field. And people kind of talked along with that, but it seemed like such a distant thing. Is there a sense of accomplishment that you guys actually made it back here? Because it did seem like a bit of a long shot back then when you guys were talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, to get to this point has been, we've had to go through a lot of things just to get here. But at the same time, sort of the belief in each other, in this team, in this organization, I don't think anybody in that clubhouse, doubted that for a second. And, that's a special thing about this group. We just keep believing, and, we're here. all we have to do is get our foot in the door, and let's see what happens, and we're at that point. So it's been a crazy ride, and this group is something to do like that. Or something to do like that.
You guys have played so well with like a road warrior mentality under those type of circumstances. When you come back here, do you feel rejuvenated? Do you feel stronger? Do you feel, just because you got to go into home and back to your home stadium again, is there something real tangible to that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everybody could probably feel it last night when they got to sleep in their own beds and just be home for the first time in a while. And I've all been talking about it, what this place is going to be like, and there's definitely a sense of rejuvenancy, and the road can be crazy, but soak in this place, and I'm looking forward to feeding off that energy.
I'm going to go over here to Tim.
On an individual level for you this year, how does your outcome, your body of work, compare to what you imagined as a best-case scenario?
I mean, the ultimate goal for me is 200 innings and making all my starts and 200 strikeouts and all these like cool goals. But at the end of the day, it's just the North Star is something I'm striving towards. And even though I didn't accomplish some of those things, it's definitely my proudest season that I've ever had, just from a health standpoint. Everything that I was able to accomplish. It's been a very fun season for me personally, and I'm very, very proud of what I was able to do.
And separately, as somebody who has dabbled in bullpen work, what have you thought of the way Peterson has just bounced out there and come up big in a couple spots the past week?
What Petey's done this whole year, coming back from hip surgery, and then immediately, make an impact, has been unbelievable. As somebody that's gone through the same surgery, and how long it took me to kind of figure things out with my body, I know it's not an easy task. He's pretty much done everything the team's asked him to do, start relief roles these last couple games, and he's stood up and taken the challenge, and it's definitely a very, very special person to do something like that, because it's not easy, and hats off to him, because he's done an incredible job doing it.
Go behind you to Fitz.
Sean, they've got a lot of veteran hitters in their lineup that you've faced plenty of times, I'm sure, multiple stops, and then in your division, this year. So what's the biggest challenge about facing guys and facing a team where they've seen a lot of you?
Yeah, I mean, they know what I've got. They got all the scouting reports. They got all the information. So do we. And I've gotten got multiple times by them. Just the way it goes, and the playoffs are a different beast. And at the end of the day, it just goes down to competing and just throwing your best stuff out there, and trusting the guys behind you. That we're going to do this thing, and obviously it's a very, very talented group over there, so it's not going to be an easy thing, but at the end of the day, I believe in my stuff, and I can go out there and help this team win, and that's just all I'm trying to do.
Okay, take one more over here, Mark. All right.
I'm just following up on that. A couple of years ago, you had a rough playoff game against those guys. Just to what degree are you a different pitcher now, and is that any added motivation for you?
I would say motivation. It's a thing in the past. It obviously wasn't a very good outing for myself. I mean, think about it. I'm not the same pitcher I was then. They're not the same pitchers that they were then as well. So like I said, at the end of the day, you got to go out there and compete. That's all they're trying to do too. And, just throw your best stuff, and, see what happens out there.
Thanks, Sean. Okay. Carlos Mendoza will be in shortly. Okay, we'll open it up for questions for Carlos. We'll start here with Mike in the front row on the left.
Carlos, what's it going to be like to finally play at home again? and in the playoffs?
Great. Feels like we've been on the road forever. But the fact that we're here and we have a great opportunity to not only be back, but playing meaningful games, playoff games here in October in front of our fan base is exciting. It's awesome. I can't wait for tomorrow.
You talked about before you guys left the last home game against the Phillies about fully expecting to be back here. I mean, you had to go through a lot to get back to this? I mean, does it feel like an accomplishment just that you're back here?
Yeah, obviously we're back, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We had to go through a lot, not only traveling, but playing good teams. We needed to get to the playoffs, then advance, and win that wild card. But I always have faith on the guys, on the players. We continue to believe, and we took it one day at a time, one series at a time, and that's what we will continue to do. And here we are, back in Citi Field, and with a tremendous opportunity to win a series and keep going.
Okay, we see here on the right here, in second row.
Carlos, you've always had that even keel, that things were going to turn around, and every manager has that. It's that speak when you're in a slump. What is it about this team that they were able to respond to that and do what they've done?
I'm going to go back to say we got good players. We got great people that they believe in each other. There's a lot going on behind closed doors that makes that group such a special group, and they care, and they just gel together, and they come long ways. I think the fact that we got off to such a rough start and we came through, we had to face adversity from the very beginning. That I feel like made that group stronger. And we keep taking punches and we keep finding ways to get back up, whether it's in game, whether it's after a tough loss, and those are the expectations. Like we'll show up the next day, we continue to be ourselves, we continue to care about each other, to continue to prepare, we continue to go out there competing and see what happens. But that's a special group there, quality players and quality people.
And secondly, the at-bats over the last month and a half are very reminiscent of 2022. And the one constant between the two of them is Eric Chavez was the hitting coach then. And it looks like the two-strike approach is back. What has Eric Chavez meant to this group as far as hitting?
Yeah, a lot, but he also had really good players. In order to be a good coach, a good manager, you need good players, and we got a lot of them. So not only Eric Chavez, but Jeremy Barnes and the whole group, I think they work really well together. Their ability to listen and bounce ideas of each other. And I think it comes down to players going out there and executing. We can sit here and go over hitters meeting and talk up all we want, but you got to go out there and do it, and they're doing it. So credit to the players, credit to the coaches for being on the same page, to challenge each other and putting together some good game plans. But at the end, they got to go out and do it. And just proud of the whole group. Not done. We still got work to do, but it's exciting with the way we are approaching some of these elite teams with elite pitching. And it's going to continue to be that way. We're facing another good arm tomorrow. Their bullpen is really good. So, yeah, they're going to make adjustments, and we have to be ready to make adjustments as well. But hell of a job by Chavi, hell of a job by Barnesy, and, again, the players.
Okay, I'm going to go over here on the left. We're going to go to Dave.
Carlos, the last time you guys were at Citi Field was so long ago that you really weren't sure what you might get out of Francisco Lindor. He was still going through a lot of the stuff, the diagnosis, the shots. From where he's come from then to now, did it just far exceed what your expectations? I know you were cautiously optimistic, but it seemed like you weren't sure at that point.
100%. And for him to get to the point to where he's at right now, like he still feels it once in a while, but he's in a way better spot. So you got to give him credit. You got to give the training staff, a lot of credit, because there was a lot of hours. There's a lot of work that they put in to get Lindor not only in a position where he was a player, but in elite player. Last time I was here, I didn't know if I was going to have a player. I was going to see Lindor, and not only we saw him, but the way he's playing, the way he's performing. So yeah, it wasn't easy, but they grind through it. And like I said, you have to be proud of him. He has to be proud. The whole group's got to be proud because there was a lot of work behind it.
Well, I mean, and to think that you would have tried to do what you did without Lindor seems kind of impossible now, right? After what he's done for you guys during that time.
Yeah, I mean, he's the MVP, and not only what he does on the field, but what he does behind closed doors. I mean, he cares so much, he wants it so much. It's just in the joy, I think the hardest part for me was not seeing that smile when he was going through it, when he wasn't a player for us, and not only that he wasn't a player for us, that he wasn't progressing the way he would like to, and that for me was kind of like. But man, like I said, proud of him, and I'm just glad that he's playing and playing well for us.
Okay, we're going to go to Jess right here in the middle.
When you look back at these last 2 weeks, how do you think that being on the road for so long brought this team closer?
Yeah, I think not only the last 2 weeks, but I'm going to go back to the month of August where we went twice to the West Coast, and yeah, you do so much together, whether you're on the plane, at the hotel, you go out and have dinners when you're allowed to. You just come a lot closer, but this is a group that whether we're home, whether we're on the road, like they stick together. They find a way to just, as a group, continue to have conversations, continue to keep it loose, continue to push when they have to, and taking the losses and getting back on the bus as opposed to everyone going in different places. And you continue to talk about the game and what are some of the adjustments that you have to make the next day in order to get the job done. I think it's helped, but I'm excited to be back. I'm glad we're back home now.
And as a manager, how rewarding is it when you see that chemistry that's being built off the field translate, obviously, onto the field?
Yeah, that's what you want, as part of as a manager, as a coaching staff, that's the goal, that you got to get that group to believe in each other and have each other's back. And messaging from day one in spring training was that we needed to be a family, and everybody's going to go out and say it, but you also got to do it. You got to work for it every day, and they've done it. Like I said, even through when we were going through those tough days, you could see it that it was something special, and here we are. So you just got to continue to do the same thing we've been doing.
Okay, down here in the front, Tony.
Pete Alonso has a very long and successful track record against Nola. He's known him or faced him since going back to college. How much stock do you put in that? How much do you think those things matter and show up in big games?
I mean, they're familiar, but as much as Pete knows Nola, he knows him well too. And, this is a game of adjustments, and big league players and really good big league players, they are able to do that. I'm pretty sure Nola was going to try to make some adjustments, and Pete's going to have to make some adjustments, and he will. So I think you got to go out there with a plan. Nola's going to come out there with a plan, and let's see what happens. But it's a playoff game. It's just different, Yeah, there's history there, but it's like I said, we got to be ready. Pete's got to be ready, and he will to adjust when he needs to.
Okay, going to go to Tim on the left there in the middle.
Coming into the playoffs, how did you and Jeremy Hefner envision David Peterson's role?
We'll see. I think we're going day by day, game by game, how he's bouncing back. He's coming off today's, he's going to be his second day. We got to see how he's feeling tomorrow, and if he's available for us out of the bullpen, then, we'll use him if we need to. But he's flexible, he's fluid. So if we need to make a start and he's fully rested up for it, we will use him that way. But I think it's just we're going to continue to treat it as day by day, game by game. And if he's available, and if we feel like we need to use him, then we're going to use him.
With him becoming or serving as a utility pitcher of sorts lately, maybe moving forward, what sort of boost is that to a bullpen that does have some question marks?
Yeah, it's huge, especially from the left side, having another lefty there. But a guy that he's been one of our best starters, right? And then we asked him to get a save to clinch and win a wild card series. Then a day later, we're asking him to come in the middle of a game and give us a couple of innings. He ended up giving us 50 pitches, kept us in the game. Big reason why we ended up winning that game 1. So yeah, I think he's just having a feel, and Peter's got to be honest with us. Not trying to be the hero here. Health is important. We will protect him. Because again, this is a starter that we are now putting in a bullpen role. But again, let's see how this series unfolds, and we'll go from there.
Okay, down here in the front.
Carlos, in all your years in baseball, have you ever been involved with or seen a string of games like last week?
No. It's incredible. I think this is, you could write a book, you could make a movie. You go back to that game in Atlanta, the way we won to clinch a playoff spot. Then we go to play in a wild card series, and the way we came back and won the series. The first game in Philly, being shut down for eight innings and then come back and getting the W, and then the way we lost the game yesterday. So we've been in the good side and now in the bad side. Incredible week. But that's what makes baseball such a beautiful sport and probably the best sport. So you can't predict baseball, man, and you just have to enjoy it. And there's going to be ups and downs, and that's part of it. And now here we are, getting ready to play here in Citi Field, and hopefully we continue to write our own story.
Okay, here on the right.
Hi, Carlos. So how is Senga feeling after the last outing?
Good. He continues to feel good. He's here now. He's doing everything that he has to do to continue to feel that way. So progressing well and in a good spot.
You're going to go to Mark back there?
Following up on that, do you think he could be an option for Game 5?
As for right now, he's trending in that direction. Yeah.
Very separately, it seems like whether you guys pitch to Bryce Harper or pitch around him, he kind of finds a way to do damage. Just what makes him so uniquely difficult to get out?
He's Bryce Harper. He's a really good player. He's a really good hitter, man. Like, he's ready always for that first pitch. He's going to attack. And if you make a mistake, he's going to make you pay. And not only in the zone, but if you close enough in the zone, he's still going to find a way to put barrels. So great hitter, not only with Harper. That's what makes that team a dangerous team, man. Like, the guys in front of him, the guys behind him, has a deep lineup. He's versatile. They can hit the ball out of the ballpark. They use the whole field. There's a reason why they won the division the way they did, and not just because of Harper. They got a lot of good hitters. So.
Can we take the last one right here? Fitz in the back.
Mendy, will regardless of tomorrow's outcome, will Quintana start Game 4? Whether you guys are up 2-1, down 2-1, doesn't matter.
Quintana's going Game 4.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Carlos.
Yep.